Greetings, everybody. Greetings. I hope that you are doing well today. Let me move some out the way. There you go. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ah, that's a lot better. I had something there. So look, greetings to everybody today, man. I just got back from Vegas. We did our raising in the desert, and we also had our we did the creation in the desert. Man, let me tell you. We had a wonderful time. I want to send a big shout out to past master Noble uh, uh, Kenneth Rowe from Houston, Texas, who came through. I want to send a shout out to past master brother Gary Walker, who came out from Fallen. I want to send a big shout out to brother Byers, who came out from Phoenix. I want to send a big shout out to Wishful Master Von Roberts from True Kinsman Lodge in Vegas. I want to send a big shout out to the brothers out of LA who came. Alexander Lodge number 9, past master Jason Duran. He gonna get mad at me, but yeah, send him a big shout out. I want to send a big shout out to the current wishful master of Alexander Lodge who came through. That's brother Crawford, and to brother Scott, to just everybody who came through, man. Let me tell you, we had an awesome time. And if you want to join me live tonight, if you want to join me live, put your number in the chat. I'll add you. You can pop in live with me tonight if you want to join me live. So I want to say welcome, everybody. So today, our conversations is going to be about the formation of a Grand Lodge. How is a Grand Lodge formed? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. However, like I said in the beginning, just want to send everybody a shout out who came out to support the Raising in the Desert, and for those who also supported the creation. So this weekend was very busy. I want to send a big shout out to the Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star who came through to support us, um, to the Associate Grand Matron of Garden Eden Grand Chapter, to also Sister Nikki who came, just Sister Walker, just everyone who came through. It was beautiful. Also to the new brother who just joined True Kinsman Lodge out of Las Vegas. I want to send you a big shout out. I'm sorry I didn't catch your initiation, the passing that they was doing. I'm sorry I didn't catch it all, but it was good to be in your presence. So everyone who came out to support, wonderful time. It was wonderful, man. I had a great time. I just can't say how good of a time I actually had. So if you want to join us live today, you certainly can. Put in the chat. Definitely you can join us live. So today, our conversation piece is going to be about the formation of a Grand Lodge. How is a Grand Lodge formed, and where did this come from? So I'm gonna share with you some information today. I had to go and pull out my book here. I had to go and pull out my book. I had to go get it so I can make sure that the information I give to you, you can go back and check it out yourself. So I want to welcome everybody who's coming on today. And for those who came out this past weekend, we was in Vegas. I just got in about a few hours ago, had a wonderful time. I had an awesome time. So, but today's topic is the formation of a Grand Lodge. How is a Grand Lodge formed? And when did this actually take place? These rules and regulations, these principles, when did they happen? So here's what I want you to do. And I'm going to give this to you so you can check it out. Greetings. If you want to join me live, let me know. Put your number in the chat. Hit me up. I will send you the information you need. You can join me live today. Once again, if you want to join me live, let me know and I'll send it to you. You just got to let me know. I'll get you on live today. How about that? Somebody asked could they join me live, and I was like, I don't quite know how to do it, but I think I kind of figured it out today. So if you want to join me live, certainly let's get that work in. But today we're going to talk about the formation of a Grand Lodge. So there are four principal ways that a Grand Lodge is formed. One is by General Assembly. The other one is by a private lodge. Then you have a Grand Lodge that organized. Then you have what they call a Provincial Grand Master. Okay, and I'm going to give you a definition to each one of these four that I just named. And you can go look this up for yourself now. These are the ways that a Grand Lodge is formed or organized. I'm going to give them back to you again. The ways that a Grand Lodge is organized or formed is by General Assembly, private lodges, Grand Lodge, a pavilion, a provincial Grand Master. Okay, so let's take a look at a General Assembly. Okay, the General Assembly, the assembly of the craft. Okay, the assembly of the craft, the mythology is the formal gathering of Masons to form a Grand Lodge. So what it's saying is that a General Assembly of craft, the brothers, they come together and they organize themselves as the Grand Lodge. That's one way. You can look this up for yourself. The next way is a private lodge, regular subordinate lodge forming a new what's the word? Subordinate lodge. Okay, hear me again. A private lodge, a regular private lodge, subordinate lodge forming a new subordinate lodge, meaning that this lodge is a private lodge, and in its course of life, it's going to also form another lodge, a subordinate lodge. That is actually happening. Okay, now let's look at the Grand Lodge. It says a dispensation is given to a convention of Masons or a regular subordinate lodges to establish a Grand Lodge body of Freemasons. I'm going to say that again. Grand Lodge, a dispensation is given to a convention of Masons or regular subordinate lodges to establish a Grand Lodge body of Freemasons. Now, the Provincial Grand Master, a Grand Master deputized an official to do as they see fit as a traveling Grand Master. So he's given the authority to go about his work to organize Grand Lodges. This has actually happened also. So let's talk about two things that has actually happened. Okay, so you have the Provincial Grand Master, PHO in its beginning. When I say PHO, I'm talking about the National Compact of Grand Lodges. In its beginning, it had those types of Grand Master. Also, United Grand Lodge of England has those types of Grand Masters. We're giving authority to go and to organize. All I'm asking, if you don't believe me, go look this up for yourself and you will find it. Also, do me a favor. If you want to join me live today, you're certainly welcome to do so. Put your contact information in the chat, or you can text me. Text me at 619. Text me at 858. Text me at 858-707-5582. Okay? And I will add you to the live tonight. I think I have a way of doing that. So hit me up if you want to join me live and let me know. So then you have what you call a private lodge. Okay? A private lodge. A private lodge that organize a subordinate lodge. That has actually happened. Hey, live on my birthday. What's going on, Alex? Hey, brother, happy birthday to you. Big shout out to you. If you want to join us live, let me know. We'll certainly get that work in for you. We'll certainly have you to come on live and join us. Definitely. So, Lodge 459, African Lodge 459 issued a charter to Boyer's Lodge. All right. Check me out. You can go check this for yourself. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to go check it out for yourself. If they in turn accepted that charter and organized in themselves into a lodge. This is let me see. It says, as far as the modern uses of African Lodge 459 to establish itself as a Grand Lodge, it depends on perception. Okay. 1847, the General Assembly method would have been used. Otherwise, the 1847 National Grand Lodge established Grand Lodges, including the first iterated of Prince Hall Masons, or Prince Hall Masons, okay? And then it says that's out of Boston. I'm talking strictly for Boston now. And it takes a guess who would be the juggernaut of this Masonic configuration. All right, J.T. Hilton. Go back and check out JT Hilton and see what he did. All right, just for yourself. Also, if you think I'm kidding, check out how the Grand Lodge of New Jersey was organized. The Grand Lodge of New Jersey, that people, oh, here's a regular Grand Lodge, just say Grand Lodge. How was they organized? Okay, the Grand Lodge of New Jersey was formed December 27th, 1787, by an assembly of Masons, acting as individuals and not as a representative in its capacity. This demonstrates that the method used by the ancients in England persisted down to Prince Hall day. When I say Prince Hall, I'm speaking of PHO and PHA, Prince Hall, period. Okay. The Grand Lodge of New Jersey, an African Grand Lodge, was formed by the procedures, and no one can challenge it. No one has challenged it or can justify the challenge. So, in other words, it was an assembly of brothers coming together to formulate this Grand Lodge in New Jersey. That's how they was organized. They was not given a charter from another Grand Lodge or anybody else. They came together as a craft, as brothers, to organize themselves. And nobody seems to want to challenge that. Oh, when it was done then, it was done in 1787. Okay, we're going to come to that too. We're going to come to that too. All right. So check this out. I'm going to read something to you here. It says a Grand Lodge in 1738, but as the body was undoubtedly under a persistent view of the Masonic law. So the Grand Lodge that I'm speaking of is New Jersey. Okay, check this out. The method that we know of today, where three lodges come together and form into a Grand Lodge, you know when that came into play? That came into play in 1929. 1929. That is when that came into play. So when someone says, well, you need three regular lodges to organize a Grand Lodge, and then they must get that from a recognized Grand Lodge, and no, that didn't come into play until 1929. There are Grand Lodges amongst the ancient free and accepted, amongst PHO, amongst PHA, and other Grand Lodges that was formed way before they even became a principle of Masonic law. Okay? Let's just be honest. There are Grand Lodges that are still in existence today that was organized before that statute even became known as Masonic law. All right? We're talking 1929. 1929 is when that came into play. Okay? And in 1856, it was not a definite ruling. That was not a definite ruling. Go look at it for yourself and see when that come into play. All right, I'm looking at the year 1929 by the United Grand Lodge of England. That's when they set that into play. This is factual. You can go look this up for yourself and then come back and say, hey, you right or you wrong. You can do that. Like I said, if you want to join me live tonight, text me at 858, okay, 707 5582. You can text me at that number. You're welcome to join me live tonight. All right, I'm going to be on here for a little while so we can get this work in. And we're talking about the formation of a Grand Lodge and how's a Grand Lodge actually formed and who give these lodges their rights and their privileges. So let's, when we get into that, let's just look at it for what it's worth. Because a lot of times what happens is when we consider this, we want to hold everybody else accountable. But when you look at the history of how some of these Grand Lodges got established and was started, it goes out the window. It really goes out the window. It really makes me think a lot of time, who are you holding these standards to? These same standards to yourself. Do you? And if you do, let's have that discussion. Let's be honest with ourselves. So as we look at this, and it says a member forming or former members, all right? And when you look at this, and you probably wondering what book I have. Okay, this is the book I have right here. Okay, this book is by Christopher L.G. Taves, 33rd. All right, this is his book, and it's a heck of a book. This is a good book to have in your library. Okay, this is called let's see, I think this is point 20. It's 0.20. Let's see. Let me see. I think you can probably get this online. I'm quite sure you can. I'm just trying to look up some information for you. I know you can. Yeah, you can get this book more than likely online. And this is Letro Fremo. This is that book. All right. Let's see. There you go, right there. I'm quite sure you can get that online. There you go. Okay. Absolutely. Back here, if you can see for yourself. And if you want to join me live again, you can definitely reach out to me, and you can definitely join me. I want to say greetings to everybody who's popping in and who wants to come in. I don't know what this thing is. This shadow I got keeps popping up. Let me see. Let me see if I can set this right, because I got a shadow that keeps popping up on me. Ah, there you go. I had to set this camera right, man. I'm having some issues with it. So I got that set up right. So all I'm asking is that when we hop on the bandwagon regarding different jurisdictions and this and that, let's take a look on how they got organized. What principles are they using to organize themselves? Because the principles that I was reading here, there are 5 principles that a Masonic lodge can use to organize itself. And it's very important that you go look up these various ways, because they were used to organize Masonic lodges. They was actually used. The process is that a lot of us don't take those in consideration, so we look past them. That's what we do. We look past them, and then we be like, well, you weren't organized this way, and where did you get this from, and where did you get that from? Absolutely. So come on in. Let's have a conversation piece. If you want to put something in the chart while we're here, let's do that. Let's have this open conversation regarding how Grand Lodges are organized or formed. Because I believe that when you do that, hold on, I got some. Let me get. There you go. I believe when you do that, you have a better understanding of the craft. That's just my opinion based upon what I know, and we'll set this straight for you. We'll get right in here and we'll do this. We'll do it. We will do it. Hold on, let me see if I can do this real quick, and and then I'll put the information in here for you, where you can hop on and definitely join us live tonight, and then you can do that. I want you to be able to come up, join us live, and ask the question, and we'll get that. We'll have that conversation with you. So tonight, as I said before, we're just talking in regards to how our lodges organize. How are they organized? How are Grand Lodges organized? Who decides what in regards to Grand Lodges? Because a lot of Grand Lodges history, when they first started out, is not necessarily what you hear today. Absolutely not. So let's get that conversation in. Let me go here and see if I can have this posted some type of way for you, and we're gonna get it in. I think I can do it from this point of view. And yeah, I'm gonna post something in the chat for you. So if you want to join us live, I just posted it in the chat. You can definitely hit that and come on live with me right now. Hey, how you doing, brother Taylor? Uh, what is it called? What is it called? It's backwards for us. Oh, this is called Letro Fremo. Fremo. That is what it's called. Okay. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and put that in here for you real quick. I'm going to put it in here for you. Just be patient with me. This is the book. You can check it out for yourself. It's a great book to have, full of great information. Absolutely. Myself, if I have something and somebody saying, what do you got? Let me share it with you. I will share it with you. And I believe that you need to go get this. It's full of great information, and it would definitely enhance you. And let's see. There you go. That's the name of the book. I just posted that. And check that out. I like I said though, it's a great book. It's a good book to have. Has any brother heard from what? No, I have not. I have not heard anything from that researcher. I have not. Not at all. Hey, just got passed to a fellow craft. What's going on with your spirit of justice? Congratulations. I was at a passing yesterday. A brother I went to, I caught the end of his passing yesterday when I was in Las Vegas. Man, I had a wonderful time, and the fellowship was great. So, but today I want to make sure I stay on topic. Today we're actually talking in regards to the formation of lodges and grand lodges, because when I'm hearing when I talk to brothers, they, oh, how was your grand lodge formed? And how, there are four ways that can pop off. There are four ways that a grand lodge is organized, and lodges too. And these customs go way back to the beginning. So when someone else is doing it today, who am I to say that it's wrong? It is up to my grand lodge or your grand lodge or any grand lodge of any sort to maintain or to hold that fellowship with that lodge if they choose to. If they don't want to, they don't have to. However, I believe that we get so bent on information that is not pertinent to what we're trying to accomplish until we look past a lot of different things that are happening in history. We look past how other grand lodges was organized because we have this vendetta against somebody else. So all I'm here to do today is to share with you in regards to how lodges in days long gone was organized. And some lodges today are still organized that way. Absolutely, they are. Some lodges uses the three lodge process in calling the assembly to craft to organize themselves into a grand lodge. Now, whether you choose to accept them or to recognize them is something that you have to do according to your own grand lodge, constitution, and bylaws, how they do that. I can only speak for where I'm at. Every grand lodge should have a process of how they choose to accept lodges or grand lodges who may be asking for Masonic recognition. I'm going to say this again. Every grand lodge, every lodge should choose whether to accept or deny grand lodges or lodges who choose to have mutual recognition with them. That's just common courtesy and policy. It doesn't state whether they're clandestine or not. It just clearly says no, we're not going to accept that, or yes, we are going to. And I know some brothers would say, well, the younger Grand Lodge should ask the older Grand Lodge for Masonic recognition. I don't agree with that. Well, they were there first. Okay, but I don't necessarily prescribe to the formula that the younger should ask the older. I think if you're looking to have that relationship, it should be something mutual, just mutual. And I know some jurisdictions require a different things in regards to having that Masonic recognitions. I know that some grand lodges require, this is what I know. They require that you have so many members in your grand lodge. They require to see your bank statements. Yeah, they want to see your bank statements. They want to know what type of buildings you have. They want to know everything about you, not only your history, but how you operate. They want to see a copy of your constitution. They want to see a copy of your bylaws. They want to know everything possible about you that they can get from you. Plain and simple. Now, I will only speak from the perspective of my Grand Lodge for where I'm at and how we, in our own procedures, you know, we want to know your history, okay? We want to know how you was organized. We want to know your structure, but we don't have to know what's in your bank account. We want to know how many lodges you have. Plain and simple. Those are just some of the requirements that we require when we enter into Masonic recognition. However, as I said before, some committees in some jurisdictions require so much more. They require so much more. Now, if you meet those standards, then there's a possibility that you may have that mutual recognition with them. If you don't, then you don't have it. Don't get bent out of shape if you don't meet their standards. It's okay. It's their standards. Okay, you have standards also. If they don't meet your standards, what if they don't meet your standards? That's a whole lot. That's a two-way street. So you have to really take in consideration that whole thing as you go down that rabbit hole. Now, consider this: those ways of I mentioned earlier. I mentioned this earlier in regards to lodges organizing the General Assembly. Consider that. Consider private lodges issuing charters to another lodge. That happened. That has actually happened. Consider a Grand Lodge giving dispensation to a lodge. Okay. Consider Pavilion Grand Masters. I mean, those are the four ways that Grand Lodges or lodges were established. That's how they was doing. All right. So let me put something here for you. Like I said, if you want to join me live tonight, you're certainly welcome to do so. And here's the information that you can. I'm posting it now, so you can go click that, and you can pop up live with me tonight. You can definitely go live with me tonight. And definitely do me a favor, hit the like button. I certainly would appreciate it. It'd be very nice if you can hit the like button. Let's see if there's anything that I may miss. Mission, let's see, live chat are visible. There you go. In our woods like areas. Let's see. As an African American, I don't accept milk chocolate colors. Brothers in the comments, they don't share the same challenge as real black skinned brothers like myself. Oh man, what did I miss in the chat? Let's see. Uh, what conversations are we having tonight? We're having a conversation regarding the structure of Grand Lodges. How are they formed? That is what we're doing tonight. All right. Let's see what's going on, Virgo. How you holding up? As okay. Well, I would stay here on the golf course and think private. And what's going on, Cowboy? How you doing? Good evening. How you doing, Roland? I appreciate you joining in tonight. But yeah, for those of you, yeah, we did have a great weekend this weekend, and the brothers who came out to fellowship while we was in Vegas, it was great. I enjoyed it. I had a wonderful time. It was beautiful. The sisters who came through to support, thank you so much. The brother who prepared the food for us, him and his lovely wife, thank you. We appreciate it. And that's what we're all about. We're all about building, man. Look, some of us get so hell bent on destroying someone else until you miss your own blessing. I'm gonna say that again. Some of us get so hell bent on destroying somebody else, you miss your own blessing. And I live by that. I go by that for myself. That's what I have to do for me. I can't do that for no one else. Absolutely not. So look, as we continue this journey, I just want to come in tonight and just have that brief conversation with you in regards to the formation of a Grand Lodge. If you got something out of this, certainly that's a beautiful thing. So go back, check it out for yourselves, look and see if I was lying to you or not. You do that for yourself. And holler at a brother, say, no, that's not right. And we can have that conversation. A lot of times I put that challenge out. I don't get a lot of response. I don't. But tonight I'm putting it out because I believe that brothers of the craft needs to understand that. You need to know your history. I would tell any brother that. Any brother of the craft, please know the history of your Masonic jurisdiction. It's a wonderful thing to know. It is actually a wonderful thing to know. And develop those relationships with other Masonic bodies. Absolutely. So look, I'm not going to hold you long. I was only on here for a little while, but I did want to stop by just to say hello. I hope that you've gotten something out of this as I begin to shut down. Look, whatever you do, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. All right. I'm not your study guide. I'm just here to help you study. Brother Kenny Walker, look, man, I love you, bro. Thank you for coming through. Man, look, you got a lot of heart, man. That's a long drive that you took to come out to the desert. Take care, everybody. Until next time, peace and be well.